So we just had another object shot out of the sky over US airspace, way over in Alaska. And of course, this object was about the size of a car apparently, and it was floating at about 40,000 feet, which made it a risk to civilian air travel, so the Department of Defense decided to take it down. And of course, less than a week ago, we shot down a giant Chinese spy balloon that was also over US airspace. So that got me to thinking, how often are we shooting down objects over US airspace? Is this a regular occurrence? Because it just seems to be lately. And of course, with my rudimentary research skills, I was able to find that this doesn't necessarily ever happen, like ever. And this should concern you and indicate where we're headed in the sense of geopolitics. We are heading towards a wartime scenario. It's going to happen. I don't know exactly when, but these are not normal events, and we shouldn't pretend like this is normal, because I can tell you after doing some research that this stuff just doesn't happen, okay? Even during 9/11. Yes, of course, we scrambled fighter jets. They went in the air and they actually were tracking Flight 93 because they were aware of the fact that it might be used as a weapon. But no airliners were shot down by US fighter jets during the 9/11 crisis. Of course, that's the official story. I'm just saying exactly what was reported is that, yes, we have fighter jets in the air and we are aware that there was a possibility of more threats on the horizon, but no airplanes were shot down. There was no other objects shot down during 9/11. Yet here in the last week, we've shot down 2 objects over US airspace using fighter jets with Sidewinder missiles, or whatever they were. Look, I'm not trying to get into the details of that, but what I'm trying to say is that this should let you know why we prepare. Like, this is a really big deal. Things are escalating past a point where they haven't been before. You know, the last time, at least in my research, that we shot down 2 different objects over US airspace because they posed a threat to civilians on the ground? Yeah, that was like, I don't know, in the 1940s in Hawaii, maybe? I don't know, some place called Pearl Harbor, right? Oh, and don't forget, we also had the Japanese gigantic balloons that were sent into Oregon that dropped a payload and actually killed Americans on American soil. And of course, those were eventually shot down as well. But yeah, this was like in the 1940s. So yeah, this is not normal behavior. Having things shot out of the sky over United States airspace is not something that happens on a regular basis, or at least not something that happens on a regular basis publicly. And maybe that's what you should be considering, is the fact that we're being told all this information, we're being made aware of what's happening, and that should almost concern you just as much, because the fact that they're telling us they're having to do these things might actually indicate that things are even worse than we know. Look, I'm not trying to say that something's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not trying to say that this is the worst thing that ever happened, right? All I'm trying to make you aware of is the fact that this is not normal behavior. Things don't just get shot out of the sky in the United States on a regular basis. And the fact that 2 of these things have occurred now within a week of each other has me thinking that things are escalating quickly. And I'm definitely trying to motivate and ramp up my preparedness efforts here, because I just don't know what the future holds, and I just really don't know how this is all going to turn out. So I'm doing what I can, and I think you should do what you can as well. And I do want to mention the biggest supporter of the channel is Midway USA. They support what I do here, and they have tons of preparedness related gear. So if you've never checked them out before, make sure you do. And also, if you're looking for exclusive content or ways to directly communicate with me that will be prioritized, and even preparedness incentives, then make sure you check out my Subscribe Star as well, because I'm posting content over there that I won't post over here. And I am trying to make sure that at $5 a month, every month somebody receives something that's well worth that $5, in fact exceeds that amount. So hey, do what you can and get ready. Look, where I live is Minuteman missile territory, all right? Missile Man is like a different movie that's probably not PG. But what I want to say is that I live where there are silos all over the place, you know? This is a strategic target for a lot of the nuclear superpowers out there that we would consider foreign adversaries. And just so you're aware, we don't have any fallout shelters. Like, that's just not a thing anymore out here, which is unfortunate because, you know, Russia has underground bunkers for like the majority of their population. And countries like Finland have underground bunkers ready to go. China, I'm sure, has a huge network of underground bunkers as well. And the United States just felt like it wasn't really worth maintaining or even keeping access to rudimentary fallout shelters, especially where there are Minuteman missiles buried in the ground within, you know, a few miles, right? So just something to keep in mind. This is not going well. I'm not excited about it. And hey, if you guys know about more situations where the US has shot foreign objects out of the sky and then reported on them, and it's happened more frequently than, you know, 2 times within a week, let me know in the comments below, because like I said, rudimentary research skills, but it wasn't easy to find that information if it had happened in the past. But if you know about it, please let me know. And besides that, that's going to be it for Magic Prepper.